Hey everybody, Mr. Campbell here with another video. So today I'm just going to show you my setup with my two screens and what that looks like on Google Meet, so you can present and you can also show a screen. And it doesn't have to be an external monitor, it could be another computer, it could be another Chromebook. So we'll talk about that. I'm going to switch cameras so you can just see the kind of the setup in my office. So the setup is pretty standard. I just have a second monitor with a claw arm or whatever that comes out. And then I have an adapter that plugs into a power cord. You can get these on Amazon. I'm not going to put a link at this point in time, but there's that. So when I plug in my MacBook, what I can do is I can use this screen as a desktop extension, and I can drag Chromebook, or not Chromebook, but Chrome windows up to there and then still see what's happening on my laptop. So when I put these all together, I'll show you what this looks like when it's done. What you'll see here is when I plug in my iMac, it automatically detects this as a second dashboard or a second desktop. And the way that you would adjust this is you go to Displays, and I'll just show you. So my mouse up here on the big screen, when I go over to the right, it appears on the small screen. So I know that's out of focus. There we go. So, and then we'll go down here. So basically it's like these two are like this, right? So to set that up, you come over to Displays and you click on Arrangement. And you'll have a bunch of different options depending on what you have set up. If you have 3 screens or 4 screens, if you just have a second one. So then I can actually mirror displays. When I click on mirror displays, what's going to happen is I'm going to get the same exact image on my laptop as I do on my external monitor. And that's not what you want, right? So I want to take that off. And I actually have that so it's not mirroring. So then what that looks like is if I come to Chrome and I have a window here and I open a new one, you'll see I can then drag this over here. And that's what we're going to do later when we do the Google Meet and how I run a presentation. And then I can also see everything that's going on in the Google Meet. Right? So you can see that I'm dragging it back and forth. It's going back and forth. So I'll stop that and we'll edit that in a few minutes. So here we are in presentation mode. I have got the, it says I'm presenting, right? The window that I'm presenting is behind on my laptop here, okay? Now, either way, I could drag this up here. This is the teacher view, which I'm now gonna move. And then this is the student view. So this is a student and what the student sees. The student obviously has the grid view extension on. So this is the teacher, or this is the teacher here. This is the student, and then this is what the student is seeing when I present. So if let me see if I can hold this all the way back this way. So now I can see what my students are seeing. If my camera was better, I can see what my students are seeing, what's happening in the Google Meet. And if I had more students, right, on this thing, I could see, but I can also see what's happening here. So I actually jumped into my own meeting as a student with a separate account. You could do the separate account or the same account. I just mute myself in the meeting up there, and then I present here. And you can see, just so we're not, let's see if I can do this. Sorry, I'm holding this back so you can see. Now, if the student in the student view wants to take off grid view, what they'll see is they'll just see what I'm presenting, right? So if you're the student, right, or that you would want to have the grid view on, and you can include yourself if you want, right? So this is me presenting, and then we're recording our screen over here. Again, and then hid behind here, this is my actual window. So if I want to end presenting, I would just click on that, stop presenting. That will disappear and everything will go back to just a grid view. Hopefully this helps. It's a super simple setup. Again, here's the setup. We have an iMac with a USB-C adapter here. Then I just have an HDMI to a separate monitor. This separate monitor, that could be a Chromebook. It could be another computer. It could be anything that you want to have as a second monitor, and you would just go and set that up in your settings. It could even be an iPad if you wanted it to be. So hopefully this helps everybody see what this looks like in their office or at their home. Most likely everybody's at home, but again, if you're here, it's because you are helping students. And I'll say it into this camera. I love you, I appreciate you, and I'm glad you're here.